Today, it finally happens. 9 years to finally max on old school RuneScape. Wait, what do you mean I'm only halfway there? Shit. Hi, I'm Bear Hero, and welcome to the middle of the road. Not just in terms of my skill level, but more importantly in terms of my account progress. In the 8+ years I've played, I've averaged just barely over 1 hour a day on my IRONMAN account. You see, I have other priorities. I'm a family man, a devoted husband, and a dad. But this begs a question that will drive this series. Can a dad max on old school RuneScape? Alright, it's time to get back to work. My goal for this video is to get every skill to at least halfway to maxing. I need to finally get over the metaphorical peak of the mountain. I have every intention of still maxing my IRONMAN. It was a promise I made to my viewers, but more importantly, a goal I set for myself. Let's get to it. First skill, sailing. Oh yeah, it probably would be worth noting that if you have not been watching the channel recently, but you've been following the series, that I didn't include all of my sailing progress in my dad maxing videos. It was kind of like its own mini series, but they're all up on my channel, so if you want to go and see me leveling up sailing up to the point I am now, feel free to go watch those videos and come back and pick this back up. I'm going to start by raking in all those sea charting XPs that I can. Final sea charting duck. Take me to where you need to go, duck. Thank you for your service, duck. And bottoms up, entire sea fully charted. Let's go. And here we have it. Everything is green, all of it. Total completion 358 out of 358. I guess we maybe get some bonus XP for this. Let's go talk to Charlie in the cave in Pandemonium. Hello, Charles. There we go. 200k XP. Holy moly. Was not expecting that. We just need 30k XP for the next level. It is almost there. A couple more things. I think you can get some liquor from him in order to get some buffs. Let's see if we can get those. All right, the big one we want is the Horizons Lure. This will give us a 2.5 sailing boost whenever we have a keg filled on our boat. So we'll go ahead and grab some of these. We might even get a couple for our 2 boats that we have, our big one and our medium size. After sea charting, I almost had 92 sailing, so I just needed to wrap up the level at the good old Gwyneth Glide. Just stopped by Gwyneth Glide to get 92 sailing. Halfway there.
Halfway there!
All right, it's time to hang up our boat for a little bit. I feel like I've been at sea for 2 months. I have. All right, we have a few more skills we want to get to 92 before we can be officially halfway there for all of them. We got Firemaking, Hunter, Fletching, Crafting, Herblore, Agility, Runecrafting, and Prayer. So let's not delay, let's get to it. All right, decided to stop by Wintertodt. I still have the boots I'm looking for here, but I'm about to hit 91 Firemaking. There it is. Oh, I got it, and then it skipped to the level 91 Firemaking. We do have a little bit of crates we need to open up before the next level, so let's go ahead and see what we got. All right, there we go. Nothing too notable. I did get a few UCs, which are going to be good for farming, and some herblore supplies that I can use for future herblore training. Other than that, I had to bank all the other stuff because my inventory got full. Pretty much nothing too noteworthy, but most importantly, no boots. Not gonna lie, haven't done Tears of Guthix on this account in way too long. Probably if I would have been doing it, every week, I probably would be maxed by now. But it's on me. All right, moment of truth. How much XP have I been missing out on? 15k. Oh my gosh. There we go. 92 Firemaking. Halfway there, guys.
Halfway there!
I don't foresee this taking very long. I'm just going to do Hunter Rumors. I'm already at 91, so this should go pretty quickly. All right, this is my first rumor. Probably going to stack these up after this one, but might as well open the first one right now. Nothing, just a little bit of everything. I proceed to do a few Hunter Rumors, nothing too extravagant. By the way, got to shout out my large Irby KC. I do have the pet, so I'm very proud of that. But I did knock them out pretty quickly, and I got to 92 Hunter. All right, this is gonna work out just perfectly. We're gonna turn in this rumor here, and that is gonna get us 92 Hunter. Halfway there, y'all.
Halfway there!
So, I just finished my clip of 92 Hunter when something strange started happening in the background. Jeez. Oh my gosh, that wasn't even a 99 party. He just maxed. That guy just maxed in the background of my video. Congrats. Congrats, Gaddy. All right, next up is Fletching, and we're gonna try something new that we have never done before, which is Auburn-Vale Vale totems, or it's around Auburn-Vale. I watched a quick guide. It seems pretty simple, and there is a unlock with this called the Fletching Knife, which I think is useful for firemaking at Wintertodt to get some extra Fletching XP and just fletching things faster. So let's send it and see how it goes. If you have never done Vale totems before, like I haven't, then I'll go ahead and quickly explain what's happening. Basically, you're going around in a circle sort of-ish route around Auburn-Vale, and you are going around and you are building these totems with the logs that you have, preferably the best logs that are available to you at the level that you can use them for. You build the totems here and you carve it out. You basically do that and go around to totem to totem doing this, and while you're doing that, you're also fletching your logs into bows if you don't already have them pre-made, and decorating them to 4 extra XP. I did my first circle that was pretty easy, and I was not doing it very efficiently. I'm sure it'll get better as I go, but holy crap, look at this XP. 28k in just one loop. Dude, do you know how many broad arrows I made early on? Ironmen have it so easy nowadays. Look at this, 422k broad arrows. 422k. Hey, real quick, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking with his dad and his long, drawn-out maxing grind, but I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you would be so kind to consider subscribing or liking the video, it really does help the channel, and just shows me you want to continue to see more so I can continue to push my way to maxing. Enjoy the rest of the video. I got my first bit of vale offerings. I don't really know what to do with these. I'm just gonna see what happens when I rummage them. Okay, I thought you had to trade them in, so it turns out it's just right into your inventory. So now I'm at a bank. Let's try this again. Interesting. Bird nest, some decent tree seeds, dirty arrow tips. Oh, okay, a bunch of arrow tips. Got some dragon arrow tips. We'll take that. And willow roots, which is maybe used for a potion of some kind. I'm not sure. Forgot that I did a little bit of amethyst mining. Let's get a quick 100k XP. Was a nice, really quick 120k XP. I did go ahead and pick up my log basket to put some magic logs in for building the totems. Hopefully it pulls out from it directly, but it'll help with cleaning up some inventory space to have just bows in my inventory. So let's get back to it. There is 91 fletching. I think we'll probably go ahead and just stock up all of the vale offerings until we get to 92. It was about the time that Deadman mode was about to come out, so I decided to switch to doing some AFK activities, specifically wood cutting, and I had a few collection logs I needed to get from Forestry still, so I really locked in. I found a really awesome spot for camphor trees, which is on Sunbleak Island with sailing, and I just kind of locked in and well, here's what happened. Okay, I'm doing some wood cutting real quick while I AFK some stuff, and I still have my rummaging, my vale offerings in my inventory, and I accidentally clicked them and got a collection log, an M branch. There you go. One other big thing, I have now just passively collected all the anima fused bark I need to complete my forestry collection log. Probably once we're done here, we'll go turn all those things in. The only thing I don't have that I need to get just from the events itself is the petal garland and the fox whistle in order for the transmog for the pet. But beyond that, everything else in forestry is done. I really only have to pay attention to those 2 events, the fox and the petal garland. Oh, let's go. There is one. Fox whistle completed. Finally. Oh man, I feel like I've done this little event so many times. Let's go. Fox whistle. Ayo. Again, just the petal garland left from the druid event. Oh, it's so nice. The long-term goal is to be able to park myself at Redwoods as soon as I get this petal garland and be able to just do AFK the rest of the way to 99.
Can I say hello?
You can say hello right there. You gotta say hello.
Boop, 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 boop.
Hey, there is 94 wood cutting as we AFK a little bit. Another level here, 95 wood cutting. Let's go. Hey, there's 96 wood cutting. All right, I just wrapped up a pretty AFK wood cutting session for a few days. Now it's time to go ahead and knock out some collection log slots. Go ahead and do everything that we can here. All right, first up is a forestry hat.
Collection log slot completed.
Forestry legs.
Collection log slot completed.
Forestry top.
Collection log slot completed.
Forestry boots.
Collection log slot completed.
The funky log from when we get the pet at a future point.
Collection log slot completed.
And then the close out.
Collection log slot completed.
And that should do it. We are now at 695 collection log slots, only 1 remaining in the forestry, which is the petal garland. And let me just tell you this, we have, I think, gone dry. I think it's 1 out of 30. And I have done, I think, 199 according to this, or I've stand on 199 circles, but I know I've done a lot more than before this AFK session. Pretty close to being green logged. All right, I'm wrapping up my time here to 92 fletching. As you can see the XP tracker right here, I'm getting about 230k, but that's not accurate. I would say about 300k XP per hour is probably what I'm looking at if I actually am paying attention. So overall, very, very pleased with this. I have a ton of magic logs in my bank, just from all of like the PVM and just things that I've done over the course of this account, and a ton of redwood, which should be enough to get me all the way to 99 fletching. I may have to do a little bit extra wood cutting, but not very much at all. I'm very happy with that. So let's wrap up this little run here and get ourselves 99 or 92 fletching, not 99 yet, 92, and then we'll open up our vale offerings. We almost got 20k worth. And there is 92 fletching, halfway there, y'all.
Halfway there!
All right, here we go. We're going to open up 18,781 Vale offerings. I've only opened up a few. You can see right here my loot tracker. I did accidentally get a collection log, the Int Brant, but beyond that, that's all we have. We are looking for the Fletching knife, which is probably the most sought after reward. I don't think we have enough offerings to be on rate, but we may get lucky. There is like an anti-drive protection where you get research points. I'm not sure if I'll get those as well. I'm not exactly sure what the exchange rate is for opening Vale offerings for that. A bowstring spool, which would be nice for fletching with bowstrings. Not really sure the application for that or if it's useful. And then the Green Man mask, which I think is just a cosmetic. All right, here we go. Here's my first inventory. Some pretty interesting things. Got some tree seeds, which is helpful because we're not quite 94 or 99 farming yet. Got some magic roots, which is nice for antidotes, I guess, and anti-venoms later on. A clue scroll, some prayer XP, and blessed bone shards, which we'll happily take, and some bird seeds. So this is kind of like the loot we're looking for, or looking at, I guess, as we go forward. There we go.
Completed.
Oh, 2 bowstrings back to back. That was an interesting clip there. But we did get the collection log slot. We'll take that. Another bowstring spool? Okay. All right, here's what we got at the end. We got 3 bowstring spools, which we're going to talk about this in just a bit. But here's the loot from overall from 90 to 92 fletching. About 20,300 Vale offerings. Got about 1.16 mil in loot. Most notable, of course, is the spool for the bowstrings, and then got some dirty arrow tips, which we cleaned and got about 434k worth of dragon arrow tips, the rest in rune arrow and etc. in the lower tiers. The seeds are definitely a welcome surprise. I was not expecting that. Definitely might look into reordering how I'm going to max the rest of my skills if that's the case with farming. I just want to do farming the quickest way possible with tree seeds. I know I'm being like super lazy because it's a super easy get, but it'd be nice to get the highest tier tree seeds as possible just to rush that even more so. Overall, not very much prayer XP. I think it's like 5 XP per bone shard, so like 6k. We are going to go ahead and go over here because I did want to get the fletching knife, and I want to get that before I did the rest of fletching to 99. So let's go see if we can do something with these extra spools. I know that you actually can combine them into one to make a bigger storable spool, but I feel like the knife might be more prudent to get, more important to get. So let's go see. Okay, we currently have 203 points, so we need 350 for the knife. So we're going to sell one of these. Well, I was planning on selling the other one, but now I think I'm just going to go ahead and grind out real quick the points to get the knife, because that should be no time at all. There we go. Just did a few more Vale offerings. Got enough to get the fletching knife
Log slot
and the
completed.
collection log. Let's go. Fletching's gonna be a little bit faster now. All right, crafting's next. All right, I've been doing a lot of AFK mining while editing videos, and I think it's about time to cash these Stardust in. I can buy gym bags for a value of 300 Stardust per gym bag, and this is really going to help out with my crafting grind. Hopefully I can get enough to at least get a couple levels so we can get to base 92s. Let's see what we can get. So just a quick heads up, right now the Banked XP plugin tells me that I only have about 32k in XP of gems, so let's see what that changes, or how that changes after we get all of our gym bags opened up. All right, we just wrapped that up, got about a little over 4,500 sapphires, over 3,000 emeralds, over 1,000 rubies, 266 diamonds, and 55 dragon stones. Let's see what the pink XP looks like. We did have like, I think 32 or 35k, now we have 604k, so we can at least get level 91. So let's get to chiseling those gems. And there's 91 crafting, a quick break for a farming run, and 94 farming. Every bit helps. I ran out of gemstones, so now I'm crafting dragon hide bodies. The hides weren't enough, so now we're glass blowing. And unfortunately, blowing glass is not going to be enough, so we're going to make some jewelry. Hey, crafting jewelry is actually not too bad XP. All right, the diamond amulets have come in clutch, and now we have another skill that is 92 crafting. Let's go.
Halfway there!
I made our way over here to the elves. It shouldn't take too long, although I am getting stunned quite a bit. I do want to still get the enhanced crystal teleport seed, which would help a lot with future farm runs. But for now, we'll just kind of see what we can get here and hopefully get the level really quickly. And the seed. Oops, accidentally clicked through 92 thieving there, but there it is. We got it.
Halfway there!
Did about half of the drop rate for the enchanted teleport seed. I think we'll get it as we get on our way to 99 thieving later on in the future. Not the biggest fan of this thieving method, but I think it is still the quickest way to get the teleport seed at some point. All right, next up is herblore. Let's get to making some pots. I actually decided to stop by over at the Mastering Mixology minigame, which if you're not aware is a herblore minigame which unlocks a couple of unique items that are helpful when making potions. One is a pair of goggles, and the other one is an amulet. Those two things combined can help you make potions that are 4 dose instead of 3 doses, and also save some secondaries, which is very nice when it comes to the Iron Man life. We actually have been here before for some quick collection log items with the alchemist pants, gloves, and lab coat, although I think we did sell these back because they are just basically cosmetic. The thing we're going for though this time is the goggles, which is going to help us save some secondaries. I believe there is like a 10% chance in order to save some secondaries whenever we are making potions. And if we have time, we might also go for the alchemist amulet, which will allow us to make 4 doses as well. I don't think we'll be here long enough to get the chugging barrel or the regent pouch, but I don't know. I'll see how quickly it goes. We just want to get 92 herblore and see what we can get along the way. All right, we have done a lot of mixology, and so let's go ahead and get our goggles. We have the points that we need.
Collection log slot completed.
We will take them. And look at this goober here. Look at him. Hey, you got 91 herblore while trying to get that amulet. Nice, we'll take that. All right, just a short time later, we have all the points we need. How to get that lye resin point up, but we can now get the alchemist amulet.
Collection log slot completed.
And that is a collection log item, and I think we are 1 away from 700, which is the next tier for the collection log staff. But all right, very nice. And making these brews is so much more XP than doing the Mastery Mixology minigame. This is the first time using the goggles and the amulet. Man, look at this, these XP rates. It keeps going up. I just started. I've already saved a few bird's nests, so I'm really happy about that. My hope is that I can, just burn through this level really quickly. As long as I have the herbs and the secondaries ready, I just gotta upkeep my herb runs and my birdhouse runs. I think this is gonna be a decent 99 herblore, because it's kind of on my routes towards the end to do 99 herblore after I've gone through like Slayer and all my melees, so I can just kind of come back and just use all the bank stuff. You got my kingdom that's running, and I just hope I can upkeep the secondaries enough, because this is really fast, and it can be really fast as long as I put in the work ahead of time. All right, I'm playing Dead Men mode, or trying to at least, on another account, and I actually got it. First time I'm not recording, I got the petal garland while I'm doing some AFK woodcutting. This is awesome, which means I can now forego forestry events, not have to worry about that anymore. And we've officially greenlogged forestry. Let's go. We also now have 700 collection log slots, which means we've unlocked the black tier of the collection log staff. The next one's not until 900, so that's a big gap, but that's pretty awesome too. Man, that's the big collection log item to finish forestry. Look at all this, mostly forestry stuff, and a little bit of herblore and fletching. All right, that didn't take too long, but that should wrap up this last set of dosage. Should wrap up our final level of herblore. There it is, 92. Y'all, you know what that means. We're halfway there for herblore.
Halfway there!
Yes, we are. Let's go. 3 more skills to go until we are completely halfway there. Let's hop over to agility. But before agility, let's go ahead and get ourselves a nice 95 farming. Let's go. We're finally doing the Ironman things. All right, we are back in agility, and we're gonna go back to the monkey agility course. We haven't been here in a while. We haven't trained agility in a while, but we have to get to 92 to get halfway there. I will say I have 3 of the monkey backpacks unlocked. I think I have a lap count of like 700, and it won't tell me here, 717, I think. So I need 3 more. I think the top one is 2,000, so it's gonna be a little while, but I think I might be able to squeak them out before I get 92. So let's hop in. There it is, 1,000 laps. We can now get ourselves a skeleton backpack. There he is, Mr. Bone Man. There you go. All right, that lap wraps up 1,500 laps. That means we have our second to last monkey backpack upgrade. Look at that little ninja monkey. What did you do? The last one is the princely monkey. That's just 500 laps. We've already done 1,500. We can do 500 more. But before we get 2,000 laps, how about 91 agility? Here we go. It's time for the final lap. Man, this is actually blown by. I really enjoyed doing these monkey laps. They've been pretty chill. I've just been kind of knocking them out one by one whenever I have the time. Agility is always going to be a little slow grind, but my secret power is I actually enjoy agility. And with this last little climb down from the rope, that is 2,000 laps. We can now transform our monkey into a princely monkey. Let's get it. All right, here we go. Transform
Collection log
princely
slots
monkey.
completed.
And a collection log slot unlocked. Brings us to 703. Let's wear this. There you go, the prince himself. Right there on my back. Glad to have him. Let's go take a look at that collection log page. Monkey backpacks, green logged. Love to see it. Love to see a green log. Very nice. What's next? All right, real quick, let's do the 25th anniversary 13 years for Old School RuneScape event. I don't think I've actually ever done one of these events, even though I've played Old School almost since its inception. So let's get at it. All right, so basically this kid is trying to open up a portal to a place of memories, I assume from the passive Old School RuneScape, and we're gonna go and help him collect his memories by doing a variety of skills. All right, we have every memento that we need except for the centerpiece, and I'm guessing that my memory is gonna be the peas. Oh, it's a cabbage. It's not me. I needed something to represent the world and what it is, and it's not me, it's a cabbage. I feel kind of dumb. Happy 25 years. Here we go. See ya. Hey, there we go. The anniversary event has been completed. We get a anniversary helmet, a tabard, and a warrior and a skeleton one, which is, I believe, is the old classic. I can't remember their names, to be honest. Like Crunchy and something. Hey, and look at this. All these old things here. Pretty cool. Look at that beautiful Calphite Queen. Oh, I did not know I could go into the lair here. Let's kill a baby blue dragon. You actually can fight these things? That's awesome. No loot, but that's okay. Classic, the old three gods of RuneScape. Gothic, Saradomin, and Zamorak. Oh, hey, there's a party happening over here. What's up, ladies? I forgot, I got a few emotes unlocked. We got the smooth dance. Let's go. We got the crazy dance and the party. Fantastic. Check out these items we got. There's that hat looking pretty nice. Tabard, skeletal one, and the 5x5 hat. Pretty cool. Oh, this, as someone that played RuneScape Classic whenever I was in middle school, this brings me back. The sleeping bag for fatigue. If you didn't know that you used to have to use a sleeping bag to restore, it was fatigue. It wasn't really energy like we have nowadays. You only had like a certain amount you could have before you didn't get XP and skills, and so you had to use a sleeping bag or click on a bed somewhere to restore your fatigue level, or I guess to bring it all the way down to 0 so you could do more actions. It was kind of an annoyance, but also it's kind of nostalgic in a lot of ways. One last thing before I go on. In the basement of the Falador party room, there is actually a fun little look back at the history of this game. A museum dedicated to all of the updates in Old School RuneScape, which is awesome. Just some amazing updates here, like the Grand Exchange, just little itemized pieces for different things here. Dead Man display. Classic 73, you know, all the things from the past or things you didn't know if you started playing later on. Ironman mode. Pretty cool little museum here if you've never been down here before. All right, we still have 92 agility we need to get. So next up on the collection log world tour, as we try to get to 99 eventually, is the Colossal Wyrm course. It wasn't already obvious, I have not been in the early game for a long time. I started this account several years ago, and since then a lot of new updates have come out, including this Colossal Wyrm course. So this is going to be my first time to ever actually do it, but I'm hoping to green log it before we get to 92, or at least on the way to 99 eventually. All right, let's take a look at the collection log. Looks like there are 8 items in total: a Colossal Wyrm teleport scroll, a calcified acorn, which I think is a transmog for the squirrel pet, and then the new graceful set that was unlocked with this course as well. I'm not sure if this is like a override or if I will get them in individual pieces. I have done it before, so we'll see. We'll say just overall it looks pretty cool with this giant skeleton head of this Colossal Wyrm and kind of like jumping on the back of it. Just finished lap 200. Working our way a little over halfway there to where we need to be. I want to unlock a few collection logs, so I'm going to go ahead and buy a graceful set so I can buy the transmog. All right, now we should be able to buy the graceful recolor. We have our whole entire set. We got the 650 termites and some. Let's go ahead and do that.
Collection log slot completed.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 collection log items unlocked. Let's try this on. Oh yeah, it's looking real nice. I like that cape actually. Very cool. And I got abs. Looks pretty nice with the monkey too, not gonna lie. And while we're here, let's go ahead and buy one of these teleport scrolls.
Collection log slot completed.
There we go, and that'll be the last collection log slot until we can get the calcified acorn at 900 termites. Well, at least we know like exactly when we get it. And there is 300 laps, and ironically about 300 termites away from getting the last collection log. I guess it's worth mentioning that to get termites, in order to get the collection log items, you get them as you go throughout the course. They're randomly spawned. I'm not exactly sure what causes them to spawn, other than maybe like just like a mark of grace random time interval. But I did eventually get it and get the collection log, and then I decided to wrap up agility over at the Ardoon agility course. All right, this should be the last bit, and ladies and gentlemen, we are 92 agility. Another skill halfway there.
Halfway there!
2 more to go. Runecraft and prayer. It feels nice. Feels nice to knock out half of the prayer training, or agility training. Ooh, and it's also nice to unlock 92, the hollowed sepulcher. Floor 5, that is where we will be parking ourselves probably for the rest of the way to 99, but that's for a different day. All right, next up is runecrafting to get to 92. I do have one quick pit stop for a collection log for runecrafting, and that is the Guardian's Eye from Guardians of the Rift. It's the only item I have minus the pet, which I'm not going to stick around for in order to get the full collection log, again minus the pet. Right now I have about 1900 abyssal pearls. I need 3000 in total in order to get that, so they can be kind of hit or miss with the drop rate. It kind of depend on how lucky we get with dupes to trade in as well, but we got to knock out about 1000 in order to finish up here, and then we probably, I don't know if we'll come back to Guardians of the Rift. We'll see. We may end up just AFKing souls or bloods for the rest of the way, but we'll see what the XP looks like. Oh, it's been a hot minute since I've done this. All right, that wasn't too bad. Right back at it. A little bit lopsided on the energy though. Gotta tune that out. All right, things are going really well. XP is at 60k or so an hour, so I will definitely take that. We're gonna pop out real quick. Gotta take care of something. I want to go and do a few pulls though and see if we can get lucky. 61 pearls. There's just something so satisfying about pulling at Guardians. I don't know what it is. I just love Guardians of the Rift. I really vibe with it. All right, I swapped over to Lunars. I'm gonna try combination room crafting for the first time. I've never done it before, but I'm just kind of curious to see what the XP rates look like, and we'll see how it goes. All right, I've been doing combination runes for a little while now, and I think I'm kind of getting the hang of it. I'm not even sure if I'm doing it the most efficiently. I'm mainly making steam runes, a little bit of lava runes here and there. Getting about 65 to 70k an hour, 70k when I'm really like paying attention and staying on it. But the XP is great. Liking it. I like Runecraft. I'm sorry guys. All right, I am wrapping up a session. I have about 53 pulls that I can do. Let's see if we can get lucky on some pearls or some duplicate. Not gonna complain about 207 abyssal pearls at all. Brings the total up to 2,344. 98 wood cutting. Let's go. Woo! Save King while I play some games with friends. 2250. Looks very clean. Woo. There we go, 91 rune crafting, 600 rifts closed as we're working our way to the 3,000 pearls. Hey, there's a duplicate blue dye. All right, taking a quick break to do a farm run, and it's significant because that is 96 farming. Oh, that is rough. We are still about 100 shy, 30k XP left. Let's see if we can get this done in that time frame. If not, we may have to stick around a little bit longer post 92. But let's see what we can do here. Brace yourselves. It's time for 92 rune crafting. Let's go. Halfway there.
Halfway there!
All right, 15 pulls from the Guardian. No, 1920. They're really gonna make me go back in. All right, I did a few more games, got 30 pearls, and that's significant, and here's why. Now the pearl count is up to 2950, but I have a little secret weapon. I actually got a duplicate abyssal blue dye. If you didn't know, you actually can turn these dyes in for pearls right here to Apprentice Felix. So let's do that and get ourselves our 3,000. Bada bing, bada boom.
Slot completed.
Collection log slot completed. Guardian's Eye for future Rift Guardian if we get one on the way to 99. 92 rune crafting, almost a full completed collection log, only missing the pet, which again we're not gonna stick around for that. But that will wrap up rune crafting for now. Probably Guardians of the Rift unless I decide to come back here. I do like a good Guardians of the Rift, but it's kind of a little less motivating now that I have all the things but the pet. All right, one more skill to go to get to level 92, and then we will officially have all of them halfway there. We're gonna go with prayer. I actually do have a prayer tab set up. I like to do it a certain way that I feel comfortable with. I will be utilizing the Wildy altar. I'll go ahead and show you my route now, but I should have enough bones to get to 92. Definitely don't have enough to get to 99, but that's a problem for a different day. All right, I do want to show you my method real quick. So here's what I do. I get on the Arceus spellbook and I teleport to the graveyard in the wilderness or the cemetery with my bones, and I will run up to the chaos altar from this route. I hardly ever encounter any PKer when I go up here. Also, apologize for the scuffy UI. It's just the quickest way for me to be able to use the bones on the altar. So I'll run up here to the altar like you're seeing. With always a safe amount of bones, I don't want to lose them. They're precious resources to me. I will go to the altar and I will then use each bone on the altar. If you didn't know, if you click on the bone and then on the altar itself, it goes a lot faster than just clicking once. It's like the Gilded Altar if you ever have used that before for prayer training. Most of the time, I mean, pretty much all the time, I will get all of the bones offered up before any PK arrives. If they do, it's usually towards the end, and I'll get down to like the final 3 bones or so, and even if I die, I'll keep those things. So just a really nice, safe way for me to use the bones I get from things like Slayer. Pretty decent XP on the way to 99 prayer. For the getting back part to the bank, I will then use this Wine of Zamrak, and I will die and respawn at my respawn point, which I have set in Prythanus, which is just a quick way to get to a bank, and that's what I like to do and how I use my prayer training method. 91 prayer. I don't always get 92 prayer, but when I do, it's usually whenever I am about to get 92 base overalls. There we go, the last one to get halfway there.
Halfway there!
92 prayer, base 92s. We're finally halfway there. Oh my gosh. All right, getting halfway there, approximately 180 days and 17 hours of playtime. Let's talk to Hans. And we arrived over 3,300 days ago. Oh my gosh. Oh, this one hurts. 9.3 years to get halfway. Oh my gosh. After nearly a decade of playing this account, it would be crazy to think about spending another 10 years just to max my Iron Man. It's undeniable that de-ironing would speed up my maxing goal by hundreds of hours, but I feel like the series title is misleading. Yes, maxing my account is the goal as a dad, but the goal is less to do about the end result and more about the journey. Don't get me wrong, I've been itching to do something different for a while, especially in terms of content creation. Not only would it just be a great idea in general to freshen things up, it would also do wonders for my channel to just not post videos every 3 months. With a full-time job, a wife and 2 kids, and other healthy habits I'm upkeeping, I'm not sure how some of these other content creators do it. I've seen some other quote-unquote dad maxing content. The amount of hours they're able to put in is just not feasible for me, at least. In fact, about 10 hours a week is a sweet spot for me. That's if I devote all of my personal hobby time to AFKing or actively playing on my Iron Man. With all that being said, I have made a decision. I will not be de-ironing. If it's true about the journey, then there is no need to rush. Don't worry, I love working on a plan to achieve my goals, both in OSRS and out. I'm actively putting together a sustainable plan to max sometime next year. And by doing that, I'm also hoping to free up some time to do some other projects, like the upcoming leagues releasing on April 15th, and also revisiting the unrestricted main game experience by playing on a fresh account with one of my real life best friends. So thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for watching until the end of this video. I love OSRS. I love what it can teach you about finishing goals and the self-efficacy it takes to achieve those. I can't wait to see you in the next one as I continue to max on my Iron Man. Have a good day and God bless.